the most poignant time memang when at home I was thinking how to kill myself. That was the deepest, lowest point in my life. At 51, so I got what you call surgical menopause. What I find ialah banyak doktor dia memang baik dengan segi medical, but emotional banyak yang tak bagi informasi. So I went into menopause with no information or idea what's going to happen dengan badan saya. In a matter of 3 bulan, very quickly I started to put on weight. I started to lose hair. All my joint from plantar fasciitis, tennis elbow, semua sakit. And then of course you put on weight. And as a woman, nobody likes to put on weight, right? Then self-confidence issues. Then worse for me is depression.
Dalam dunia di mana menopause sering dianggap sebagai topik yang tabu, Karen Tan memilih untuk melakukan sesuatu yang jarang dilakukan orang lain. Bercakap tentangnya secara terbuka. Sebagai seorang jurulatih menopause bertauliah dan pengasas menoplus.co, misi Karen adalah untuk memecahkan stigma menopause dan mencipta ruang selamat di mana wanita bukan sahaja boleh bertahan, tetapi juga berkembang melalui perjalanan hidup pertengahan mereka. Kisahnya tidak bermula dengan inspirasi, ia bermula dengan kekecewaan. Seperti ramai wanita lain, Karen pernah bergelut dengan simptom yang tidak difahaminya sepenuhnya, tanpa panduan yang jelas. Saya rasa terasing dan saya sedar ramai wanita lain juga merasai hal yang sama, katanya. Detik itu menjadi pencetus kepada penubuhan menoplus.co, sebuah platform berasaskan komuniti yang bertujuan memberikan ilmu, sokongan dan memperkasakan wanita berusia 35 tahun ke atas. Karen bukan sekadar jurulatih kesihatan biasa. Dia mendalami sains pemakanan, hormon, dan gaya hidup, serta menggabungkannya dengan kisah penuh emosi dan penyelesaian praktikal untuk membantu wanita menghadapi cabaran harian menopause. Saya mahu wanita tahu bahawa menopause bukanlah penamat. Ia adalah satu peralihan, dan setiap peralihan mampu membawa kepada permulaan baharu, katanya penuh semangat. Matlamatnya, untuk membina sebuah sisterhood, komuniti yang membuatkan wanita merasa didengari, dilihat dan disokong. Sebuah gerakan yang memperkasakan mereka untuk menerima fasa kehidupan baharu dengan kekuatan dan keyakinan. Inilah perjalanan Karen Tan, sebuah perjalanan yang bukan hanya miliknya, tetapi milik setiap wanita yang sedang menempuh cabaran menopause. Melalui menoplus.co, dia sedang mengubah naratif satu perbualan pada satu masa.
Itu feel ni
itu memang topik best bersama saya Dr. Roland Victor.
benda yang and one of the worst stress can happen bila you makan tak sedap.
Doktor, saya punya culture kena makan nasi.
Zaman moden
That every second of your life you either earn or learn.
Batu Medic Show. Okay, welcome everyone to another episode of Lesung Batu Medic Show bersama saya Dr. Roland hari ini. Dan topik perbincangan hari ini ialah menopause. Biasanya kita selalu akan dengarkan isu ni kepada wanita yang mungkin berumur 50 ke atas. Yang muda selalu akan terfikirkan bila lah akan menopause. Tapi bila dah datang menopause, pelbagai masalah mungkin timbul. Dan hari ini bersama saya ialah Puan Karen. Jauh dia datang ke studio podcast Lesung Batu daripada Pulau Pinang. Puan Karen, how are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Thank you for coming to Lesung Batu Medic Show.
Very
And just
honored.
to share, hari ini punya podcast hari ini dibawakan host oleh M Plus Balance. Nanti saya akan tanya Puan Karen dengan lebih lanjut. So, this discussion is going to be a mix of English dengan bahasa Melayu. So, harap maklum.
Yes.
So, Karen, I want to ask you that. How did you start on this awareness of menopause?
Okay, so when I had I actually experienced gejala menopause as early as 37 tahun.
Awalnya?
Yes,
37 tahun?
yes. And a lot of vertigo, kemurungan, sakit-sakit otot and heart palpitation.
Okay.
Tapi at that time saya memang fikir normal lah, maybe stress ke, tekanan dari kerja, keluarga.
Masa tu puan masih bekerja lah.
Ya, kerja dengan
puan sebagai,
anak.
Kerja sebagai career
corporate.
apa? Corporate.
So memang stressful.
Stress, betul.
And then dengan anak, so kita sebagai perempuan selalu fikir ini normal, tak apa. Then kita like let go lah. Biarkan and think of this normal. Then I memang pergi dengan banyak doktor that I check, and with MRI, kena blood test, hyper, thyroid, semua test yang beribu-ribu ringgit, but nothing. So
cuma nampak normal pada ketika itu.
Yeah. Okay. So, and then my gynae memang kata, tak mungkin, you're too young, nothing happen. So bila saya dapat a couple of years ago hysterectomy, sebab saya memang ada cancer risk. Okay. So they found some abnormality, so dia kata better take it out.
Itu berlaku pada umur
51.
51. Okay. So that means daripada umur 37 tu sampai umur 51,
all the gejala ada dihadapi.
Period ada tak masa tu?
Period tak tertentu.
Okay.
So sometimes ada, sometimes tak ada, sometimes very longer, sometimes very sikit. Okay. Then at 51 did the hysterectomy, so I got what you call surgical menopause. But what I find ialah banyak doktor dia memang baik dengan segi medical, but emotional banyak yang tak bagi informasi. So I went into menopause with no information or idea what is going to happen dengan badan saya. So in a matter of 3 bulan, very quickly I started to put on weight. I started to lose hair. And then all my joints, from plantar fasciitis, tennis elbow, semua sakit. And then of course you put on weight, and as a woman nobody likes to put on weight, right? Then self-confidence issues. Then worst for me is depression. So the most poignant time memang when at home I was thinking how to kill myself. That was the deepest, lowest point in my life. But thankfully, suami saya memang sangat supportive. And then we started to research to find help dengan community, dengan itu. So during this time, I dapati yang di Malaysia memang tak ada community.
Betul.
Okay. Sebab Asian culture is very close. We tak mau cakap about this taboo, and then when you talk to ladies, they say no, nothing's wrong with me, it's okay. But itu memang a lie lah. Memang satu story.
Betul. So I want to ask you a bit. Saya nak tanya sedikit tentang dari I want to go back again, nak tarik sikit, because balik kepada umur 37 tahun kan. Bagi saya umur 37 tahun ni is like peak of your career point. You might have maybe teenage kids, or younger going into transiting into secondary schools. Exactly. So you have to handle those stress. And then when you have suami pun, mereka pun tengah berusaha untuk push into their career. Their businesses and everything. And bila you perasan isu ni tengah berlaku, and kebanyakan saringan oleh doktor-doktor kata tak ada masalah, hormones adalah okay. So bagi saya yang I see all of this kind of things as a integrative general practitioner yang tengok pada masalah hormon nutrisi, saya setuju 100% yang apa puan hadapi at that point, because kebanyakan sakit-sakit sedih ataupun kurang fokus, ataupun keletihan, all of this kind of things yang mungkin disebabkan oleh masalah hormon, yang also interlink with other things, the psychological perspective of the endocrine system, and that's also focusing. Because you feel that you're trying to fix it, but it's not being fixed.
Correct.
Until only, bila kata like until it was 50, that means almost 10 tahun in a search like what is happening. And kepada semua yang tengah dengar masalah-masalah hormon seperti yang Karen ceritakan, I just want to add on before I ask more questions, is kadang-kadang estrogen tu disunting ataupun dicari. Maksudnya bila kita nak buat blood test tu tak dibuat pada waktu yang tepat.
Yes.
So they don't check pada waktu ovulasi, just pergi main buat saja. And then you akan dapat indikasi yang mungkin normal pada waktu yang kurang puncak, not during ovulation time.
Betul.
And then lepas tu ada juga isu dari segi pengeluaran progesteron, hormon yang biasa kita kaitkan dengan rahim, tetapi kena faham hormon ni bukan hanya buat dekat rahim saja.
Yes.
It also can be made by other endocrine organs, especially the adrenal gland. Ramai orang tak tahu.
Yeah,
Even
exactly.
pakar pun tak tahu. Sometimes I got to say this.
Correct.
So when ada isu tentang isu cyst and everything, and then mungkin bagi saya, okay, 51, 52, it was almost into that, really going into that menopausal age.
Betul.
But when you remove womb, on your circumstances, we understand because it was surgical
Risiko.
intervention tu risiko tinggi, mungkin takut barah tu mungkin jadi bukan minai ke maling
Correct.
ataupun lebih teruk. So that is a decision that it's right was taken lah.
Correct.
Tetapi bila hilang hormon tu, almost macam kena
Shock.
tolak bawah gaung macam tu.
Yes.
You just fall down under a cliff like that. You feel like,
Exactly.
what happened to me?
That's right.
So good that you had sort of family support.
yes.
You had a husband, the family, were there to actually help you cope.
Correct.
Because sometimes you feel that you will take sometimes unwise decisions at that
Yes.
kind of decision you take, because it's like no backup. And what happens sometimes, interestingly, in this situation is when you don't have progesterone or even estrogen depletes, your body now goes to depend on cortisol, which is the stress hormone.
Exactly.
So the stress hormone
It's
makes you
gonna
go
go
whack.
haywire. Yes.
Exactly.
Yes. Yeah.
So what was that journey? I'm pretty sure that the doctors would have thrown you hormone therapy straight away.
They tried, but they were macam resistant in the sense that they have a guidebook, so they look at my age and everything, and they kept saying no. They say, maybe you're too you got to just learn to de-stress.
Okay.
So that was my problem, because I felt no one was listening. No, I kept going from one doctor to another, and they couldn't find and pinpoint what is going on. And as you know, hormone, when you test at 9 a.m. is different when you test at 10
Exactly.
a.m. And that's the thing. So you cannot find it, right? But I was very resilient in a sense that I'm always been someone who's self-advocate for myself, and I felt that nobody knows your body than you.
Betul.
So I memang belajar, and I've tried to listen to all my
Symptoms.
all my symptoms, maybe a little hypochondriac, but I was listening, and I tried to do a holistic approach, because I'm not someone who wants to go on medication as much as I can, purely because of my health issue. I didn't want to add on. Going back a little bit, I was on IVF for 4 or 5 years.
IVF therapy.
Yes.
IVF therapy.
Yes.
In the
to have
early
my
days.
children.
Okay.
Yeah.
And this was in your.
I was only in my 20s.
Okay.
Yeah. So, I didn't want to add on, and already the doctor said, because I had all this hormone therapy, I have to be very careful, don't aggravate by doing more things and all that. So that was the journey. But also, kepada semua suami or brothers that don't understand, it's so important that you support the woman you love. And that's my reason to be with you, is I want men to understand that women need your support. I've seen too many friends where the husband just, what's wrong with you? Why are you angry? Then divorce. And actually studies have shown menopause causes 75% of women blame menopause for their relationship breakdown, and that's important. It's an important fact.
And in fact, kalau kita lihat, especially in that 50 percentile age group, especially this during the 50 to 55, this is the point where the average female experience menopause.
Correct.
Unfortunately, today a lot of men also are experiencing andropause at the same time.
Yes.
So we have a situation of low testosterone,
Yep.
and when the female is also going through a cycle like that, then both of them are sort of depressed.
Exactly. And it's a very sad moment, because if you think about it, the children would have left home all very independent. So there's the empty nest syndrome for the woman, and then they are going through these biological changes. And if they are most of the time at the top of their game in career, so the stress levels comes in, and then maybe the relationship with the husband is kind of not here and there, because because the children's left home, there's nothing familiar.
He wants to go and play golf.
Exactly, and how to talk to each other, that kind of thing. So that's the thing that I feel actually breaks a marriage up, and that can cause a lot of problems especially for the one. I'm not saying the men don't, but and so as a couple, for myself, my husband and I made a very conscious effort to reignite the flame by conversation, just doing things together that you like, explaining to him what I'm going through. And he didn't know. Dia memang tak tahu kan. So but he Googled, he find out and understood that, I'm going through all this. So I'm urging men, please, if you are here listening, do your part, because it's important that you know, so that you can help your wife.
True. I think it's very important. So I want to go back in your journey juga, sebab kebiasaan doctors akan suggest lepas situation pre-menopause, maybe in the early days mungkin akan ada consideration of mungkin herbs, herba dan sebagainya. But then after when you cross the 5 series number, mereka kata, okay, why don't you think about hormone replacement therapy?
Yes,
we have in oral thrush, we have creams, we have pessary, so many options is available. And of course, being a physician myself, we use all of those kind of products. But how was your approach, and in a pre-conversation you had that it was a disaster, I would say. Maybe it was a bit very different experience that you had.
I think for me, memang bukan, it wasn't in question, because I just cannot.
They said you can't.
I mean, it's just not a possible, because if you are having what they call hormone-induced diseases,
correct,
like fibroids and cysts and endometriosis, all this will aggravate. So not everybody can take HRT. However, and if you are you have cancer and things like that, those would be those issues as well.
Correct.
So for me, it was just not a candidate for that. And so I was suffering. But I'm saying, if that is something that you want to take and you feel comfortable, do it. Because we are not here to advocate whether HRT is good or bad. I'm saying that if you need it, do it for your mental health, for your physical health.
True.
But there are options. That's all I'm trying to say.
So apa yang Puan Karen masukkan juga is, some people memang sesuai untuk melakukan now sekarang ni ada bioidentical hormone therapy. Dulu ada HRT saja. So bioidentical hormone therapy ni dia hampir mirip dengan hormon estrogen dan progesteron dalam badan. Tetapi ada segelintir orang yang mungkin mengalami masalah seperti ketumbuhan yang memang disebabkan ataupun kecenderungan dia disebabkan oleh faktor hormon. So kira kita bekalkan hormon, maka ketumbuhan tu akan menjadi lagi besar. So dalam situasi tu, mungkin individu ataupun wanita tersebut mungkin tak sesuai untuk gunakan hormon direction. Then they need to think about other options, whether it's going to be food or it's going to be plant based, it's going to be herbs, which may be helping them. So how did your journey into this then begin? Because you were looking that there are not many people talking about this, and there were not many products available. What was your journey like?
I think the main thing was I dug deep into being a Chinese, and I remember growing up when my grandma made all the tong guai and the herbs and the bitter soups that I have to drink every night, and all those things. Then I started to do it myself, but it was so
You managed to find all the formulas lah.
Yes,
Wow.
yeah. So you go to the Chinese sensei, you say I want for this, and then you make the soup. But it's 4 to 5 hours of boiling the soup. It's very bitter to drink. It helped somewhat, but that means you have to do it every day, right? So then I said, surely I cannot be the only one going through all this. And then I started to study things like Ayurvedic medication, traditional Chinese medicine, jamu. And I said, there must be some merit. Betul tak? I mean, we grew up with all these herbs and all that. So, and these are all centuries old.
You're right.
So then I went to India, I went to China and talked to some sifu and tried to understand what are the concoction that works best, what are the things. And then I kind of worked with a local lab to formulate something. But I wanted to look at something that, if possible, that has FDA approval and I added more ingredients, because I know women today is all about convenience and taste good. So I wanted to one supplement that covers as much symptoms as possible and make it easy for us to consume, so that it was part of their routine and not have to worry about, got to boil soup lah and all this type of things.
So you had to sit down and tweak all the formulation.
Yes,
and
I
stuff.
did,
Wow.
yeah. And I became the guinea pig. I said, okay, never mind, I try first. Some was like, I
And
cannot drink.
would you when you were doing that, did you also see improvement, or you saw like you were up and down? Maybe that something was too strong,
Right.
you were feeling not good some days, and some days you were feeling, my mood is more stable. Were you
Correct.
seeing those things?
Yes, I was. I mean, especially in the beginning, because we were tweaking the formulation. So if I didn't like the smell or the taste, I would ask them to redo. And then finally came to a formula that I felt, okay, this is good. And it's strong enough that it should be 1 sachet a day. So I tested on myself first lah. And I felt like within 3 to 4 months, I was seeing
A lot of
changes. Like my mood started to be happier. My husband said, I don't shout at him anymore. And I think the most significant is suddenly just the skin.
Yeah, I must compliment on that. Her skin is really good. Trust me, I'm seeing her right in front of you. Not 4K, 5K, 8K.
No K.
No Korean products. So yeah, I got to applaud that the skin texture is very important. And one thing just to share with a lot of people out there, always bila dikatakan pada masuk waktu menopause ni, always the issue is always pigmentation.
Correct.
Okay, one of the things that cause pigmentation is the drop of estrogen and the disbalance of progesterone a bit, because estrogen punya function yang unik dia membantu untuk mengekalkan collagen dan juga elasticity.
Yeah.
Okay, collagen dan elastin. Selalu dengar perkataan collagen tapi tak pernah dengar perkataan elastin. Okay,
Right.
so and this collagen and elastin not just hanya pada kulit, pada sendi,
Yes.
joints, and also for your bones. So when you always kita dengar osteoporosis dengan link dengan kalsium, tapi you kena faham benda tu berlaku disebabkan penurunan estrogen yang cukup drastik. So that's all the symptoms that they face. So bila ada cukup estrogen dalam badan, bagi saya I define estrogen as hormone cantik.
I call it the party hormone.
Oh, the party hormone.
You
That's
know why?
more dangerous.
You know why it's the party hormone? Because it's the one that makes you brave and you are bold and you want to do things. And then the progesterone is called the nice sister, because
Okay.
she's the one who makes you sleep, handle stress better.
Correct.
And that's why you take it in the evening. And of course, testosterone that builds muscles and get you a bit more libido.
Yeah,
that
correct.
kind of thing.
And but not for guys, not so much of estrogen. So estrogen for men tu masalah. For female tak ada masalah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So going back to the journey that you had, right? And so you not just looked into formulations, tetapi mungkin also in terms of the awareness, you wanted to
Yes.
to spread the awareness on
Correct.
this journey yang ramai perempuan actually tahu somehow someday benda ni akan datang, it will come, but how do you embrace it and embrace that position, and how do you go into that? What have you been doing?
So actually, the passion was the Women in Midlife Club, which is just a community yang saya build since now 2 years, and it was just to have conversation, memang untuk support dan edukasi, so that women know what to expect. And I love meeting these women, and I keep telling them, please listen to your body. Don't just take advice from doctor blindly, but listen and see what works for you. And kita mesti tahu bukan satu pill yang boleh selesaikan semua. There's no such thing. Whether
No
it's
magic pill.
no magic pill, there's no HRT or no supplement that say, oh, it will solve all your pain. There's no such thing. But it's a journey, and you have to keep adapting. Memang betul. But also the other thing I want to share with Dr. Roland is, did you know that Asian women have the highest percentage of osteoporosis and bone and joint pains compared to Caucasian women?
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know that, but I know why. I know why.
Right? So Caucasian women, when they go through menopause, will have more hot flush and night sweats. Asian is always bone and joint pains.
Any reason that you found out that why
it's due
that's
to our
happening?
diet. Large and our genetic build-up.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're not technically muscular dense.
No.
One, and then we unfortunately, despite having banyak sunlight in our country, but our vitamin D levels is a hormone and it's
Very
very low.
Correct.
And another one more thing also is because of the amount of volume of protein consumption. We tend to eat less protein
Right. Exactly.
than Caucasian.
Exactly. Yeah. And actually, for of course, we all put on weight, and that's where the belly becomes very big.
Cortisol stress.
Exactly. And no, but it's also because our body is trying to cari the estrogen. So when you build fat, it makes estradiol,
Yes.
which that's where your body is creating the estrogen for you. Tapi the masalah is, as your visceral fat gets bigger, and for women, if you have more than 35 inches, you are at risk, because you will then have higher risk of a stroke or heart diseases, and all these problem with health will start to really kick in.
Yeah.
And that's why, although women only look at the cantik bit, but they forget that the post-menopause, what I call the silent killer, is actually where I'm trying to drive the information that when you don't take care and you don't supplement, your brain health is affected, your bone health is affected, and your heart health is affected.
True. In fact, estrogen is like cardioprotective, bone protective, and also another one more. It's a very important part of the emotional cascade of a woman, because that feeling of confidence, and especially another one more thing which I want to touch upon, and ramai orang berpendapat bila masuk waktu putus haid ataupun menopause ni, maksudnya dah tak ada hubungan intim dah.
Yes.
And that's another one more thing which actually kita
mitos.
kena bagi tahu as actually a mythos.
Yeah.
We still have patients who are masih aktif secara intim bersama pasangan mereka, dan ada pelbagai cara. Sometimes ada hormon, sometimes ada penggunaan lubricant, and benda tu tak perlu jadi satu isu yang untuk tidak not to stop you. It doesn't stop you from being intimate with your partner.
Exactly. And I want to say to the women, life doesn't stop when you are 55. I promise you, I'm having the best time of my life right
Great.
now. Yeah.
That's good to hear.
Yeah.
And in fact I have one of my patients who is 79
Right.
and still active.
Oh, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, and she says that, look, I don't want to stop.
No, it's a fact of life. It's nothing wrong.
And of course, like that only happened also with her understanding her body, and doing whatever necessary balance that we're working on. Because if not for the lifestyle, the exercise, and also a bit of help with hormones, all of that is possible.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I refuse to be old and behave old.
Correct.
Because I think women are living much longer than before. So I don't want the next 35 years or 40 years, whatever years I have, to be sad and miserable. Kan?
Just to ask, since you started producing sort of a supplement like this, just share with me.
Okay.
What's in the content of the product.
Okay.
And also like, did you like maybe like after taking some of the products, okay, like run a test and see like, hey, is any of the hormones now being in a balance, or it was just now fully on how you feel? You're sick and tired of seeing the doctors.
Okay. So I had breast cysts couple of years ago,
Okay.
and
This was after the
before I started all this.
Okay.
And I say that because no insurance wanted to. They wanted to
Cover.
exclude and all these things, and also I had as well as like a high GGT. Okay. So
GGT,
yeah,
Okay.
for the liver and
Yeah.
all that. And I was like puzzled because all this start to happen because, and you know, it doesn't give you any results. But this product, for me, it's godsend is that Astro-G is really a combination of herbs. So it's not estrogen. A lot of people mistake the Astro-G as the hormone. So there's no hormone involved. It only mimics the hormonal
Phytoestrogen.
Yeah, well, not even actually.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's a combination of Angelica gigas, Cynancum wilfordii, and Phalomis umbrosa, which is a combination of the Chinese words would be dongguai, bakzhan, and cordyceps kind of thing,
Cordyceps.
right? And then so you have that. And then I enhance it because I felt that a lot of women say, oh, my brain focus is really weak. I can't remember, brain fog is always there. So ginkgo biloba is there.
Okay.
I added pomegranate and beta carotene because pomegranate is very, very high anti-cancerous properties and anti-inflammatory in general for all the ingredients. So there's no chemical, no fillers in it. And the best thing is even like I noticed like even taking it since with COVID and all, I have not had a major cold and cough, and my cysts have disappeared.
Oh, great. So you've done the checks. And
I did the check because I do it every year.
Nice.
And my GGT has also lowered.
Nice.
Yes.
Did you check your hormones to see how are they?
No. I'll be honest, I'm thinking everything is good. I'm not going to rock the boat.
You should see. Who knows they're up?
Yeah, true.
Yeah, who
true.
knows they're up? Then,
Yeah.
then you should take that as a win. So, you have a product and then you have a sort of like a woman's.
Yes, I'm very, very proud of my.
I mean, is
my
it a
women.
club, association, or the talks that you go and do?
It's community. So we did this year 2 major live events where I invited experts. So there's like OBGYN expert in menopause, and then integrative medicine, and then things like sound bath and
Oh,
yoga
nice.
and dance. Because I think women forget to have fun, and they feel shy to bicara with each other because they feel like, oh, I don't want to talk about this. But when I bring in the event, then I go, yeah, I feel that way too, and that kind of thing.
But it's very interesting in terms of women's psychology compared to men. Lelaki, they don't like to talk about any issues regarding their health, especially when it comes to hormones and their sexual health and stuff.
Right.
But females are on the opposite. They are more open to talk about a lot of details, their self, their partner, to their friends. It's like a common truth. And like this programs that you had, like you had 2 sessions. Where did you have it? In Penang or in Kuala Lumpur?
I had it in Penang and in KL.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and the reception was really good, and they all had good fun. But it was, in the beginning, memang susah to bring them out because everyone is a bit guarded and kind of shy. But then when we started having a bit more fun, and after an hour, everyone really talked about it. And I want people to be aware, like how to do their breast checks to avoid breast cancer. And then urinary tract infections,
True.
which is so common with women. So I bring in experts and we talk about it, but also some elements of fun because we have to have
So
fun.
it's like a one-day event. Or
It's a
half
one-day event, which is a lot of effort
Okay.
as well. Yeah.
So and you do it by your own, or you have a team?
I'm a solo.
Wonder Woman lah.
Yes, I'm just doing. But I'm very lucky. I have my husband who helps me with
Nice.
everything else. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
So what's untuk tahun 2025 ada apa-apa planning yang dah book dalam kalender?
I
untuk
memang
event?
nak buat satu retreat for women, and also maybe even like a self-discovery trip, like a 3-day 2-night trip that because I dapati banyak wanita yang memang di crossroads sebagai wanita, dalam relationship mereka dengan kerjaya mereka yang mungkin dia tak tahu apa jalanan mereka. So I hope to be able to do something like that so that they have more clarity sebagai wanita what they want in life, because as a woman we become Mrs. So-and-so and then the mother of, and we forget our own identity, and I want them to bring back that identity, to find
That's
their
good.
identity.
And all of these talks is open to technically any woman of all ages, right?
Of course.
Great.
Yeah.
So you got that running, and where do you macam mana nak access kepada where do we get to see Karen in action?
Super easy. You'll find me on my Facebook, which is WIM Asia Support, or Instagram Women in Midlife. You also will see Meno.plus, which
So
is
that's a website on
product.
its own?
Yes, correct.
Or it's linked to the page?
It's all linked. It's all interlinked.
So you can go from here and cross over there.
correct. Yeah,
Okay.
and my website is mplusmenopause.com. Super easy.
mplusmenopause.com.
Yeah.
Okay, so is there and how do people consume this beverage usually?
This really easy. This is a tester kit, and you will have 15 sachets. And what you get is little sachets like that.
Okay.
And you just mix with warm water. And then you drink it.
Okay, and they can consume it anytime of the
Any
day?
time of the day, as much as you want. But you'll find that even with the tester kit, after like 5 to 6 days, you will see some changes. Like
So one tester kit has how many sachets compared to this? Has 30 sachets?
Yeah, that's 30, and this one is 15.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
So please be aware that because this is not medication, you got to be patient, and you also have to change your diet, your exercise, because it's like even if the doctor gives you the best medication, but if you don't change your habits, it's not going to work.
Yeah.
And
So for women who are having regular and good menstrual cycles, can they consume this?
Yes, they can. It will help to reduce the pain. Also, like in terms of the cramping and regularity of it. Yes,
Cycle.
definitely.
Okay.
And some women do ask me like, if they have gastric, can they take it? You can just take it with food. It's really not no hard and fast rules, and that's the beauty of it.
Understand.
Yeah.
So and you have anything to shout out today?
Yes,
Since you brought the product all the way from Penang to KL.
So I want to share with all the viewers of Lesung Batu that if you put the code LBMedic, you will enjoy get a $100 voucher that you can buy on my website.
Oh wow.
Yes,
That's
anything.
very kind of you to all the followers. So ada special promo code hari ni.
Yeah.
What's the promo code?
LB
Medic.
Medic, yes.
Okay, nanti kita akan letak dalam
Description.
runner.
Yeah.
LB Medic. Sesiapa yang berminat boleh pergi kepada, again, the website is
mplusmenopause.com.
mplusmenopause.com.
Yeah.
www.mplusmenopause.com untuk ketahui lebih lanjut tentang all what Puan Karen tengah berusaha untuk memberikan informasi tentang usaha-usaha mereka untuk memberikan pendidikan kepada wanita dalam kesihatan wanita, of course tentang kesihatan haid, pre-menopause, menopause and also post-menopausal conditions. Okay,
Yeah.
so before we wrap up today, any last words yang Puan Karen nak bagi tahu?
I really want to urge all, whether the man in your life or you as a woman, to don't take your health for granted, because we only got one life and we have to live it in the fullest. Think about aging is nothing to be, it's a privilege, but we have to take care of ourselves. And I speak it from experience that depression is not bukan satu small matter. Yeah, it's a huge problem and memang can affect keluarga and office and colleagues semua. So take action because memang ada bantuan di sana, and join the WIM menopause group because you get free resource. I put up all my webinars, I put up all my information for free. My idea is I want women to listen to themselves.
That's wonderful. So salah satu benda sebelum saya wrap up, isu kesihatan wanita ni, seperti biasa kamu tahu saya banyak melihat tentang isu kesihatan lelaki, tetapi there are times where I have to sit down and consult the wife also. And sometimes isu ni bermula disebabkan oleh not the guy, but actually what the journey si pasangan wanita dia tengah hadapi. And kadang-kadang ada isu dari segi isu kesuburan, mungkin dah bertahun kahwin dan mungkin tak ada cahaya mata. Mungkin ada disebabkan oleh masalah hormon, kadang-kadang disebabkan oleh faktor stres, kadang-kadang juga disebabkan oleh faktor sekitar, keluarga. Betul. Dan sebagainya, pelbagai pressure ataupun tekanan diperkatakan bila nak anak, bila nak dapat anak, and all of that kind of thing. So there is a lot of psycho-emotional perspective towards endocrinology, which today we are exploring. And kepada wanita yang mungkin berkerjaya, pergantungan kepada kos hari hidup yang sangat tinggi, dan juga pekerjaan, lepas tu nak jaga anak, nak jaga suami, nak jaga all of this in point that you burn out.
Yes.
And when you burn out, confirm masalah hormon tu akan terjejas. Betul. Dan lepas tu kita masuk kepada sort of the sunset phase, but it's not sunset yet. Di mana mungkin kita haid tu mula berhenti ataupun mula reda. Dan apa yang kena buat selepas tu, because mungkin 100 tahun lepas mungkin jangka hayat wanita mungkin dalam 62 ataupun sehingga 65 tahun. Tapi hari ni jangka hayat wanita ialah lebih sekitar 82 tahun. So the question is, what kind of legacy you live? Macam mana you nak jaga cicit cucu you? Betul. Kalau you nak pergi umrah, kalau you nak pergi melancong, kalau you nak keluar jalan-jalan, bersukan, ataupun pergi just to have tea with your ladies, what kind of quality of life you want to live untuk the next 20 years of your life. Itu yang disebabkan kadang-kadang wujudnya produk pemakanan, wujudnya saringan kesihatan hormon yang mungkin you kena buat untuk faham, and then you can make right decisions yang safe untuk your journey to have a good senior quality of life. Okay, so sehingga kita bertemu di episod yang akan datang, jangan lupa like, subscribe dan follow Lesung Batu. Sehingga bertemu lagi, kita lesung kau. Okay, that's good.
Okay.
Nice.
I ended up a lot of English, I know.
No,